Hi, I'm Sylvia Henderson. Welcome. I'm co-host of Faces Behind the Business, and I am thrilled to introduce you. That almost doesn't feel like an introduction, but to introduce you to my guest today, who is Glenn Garnes, the founder of Village Connector Community. Glenn, welcome to Faces Behind the Business.
Thank you so much for having me once again. This is always a pleasure when we get together.
It is, and we're going to go right into our conversation about Village Connector Community, because it's really weird to me to see you as the face behind the business, because you are sort of the face of Village Connector. So in front of and around and beside. So let's talk about Village Connector Community. What is it?
Well, Village Connector Community is my effort to position everyone on the planet to participate in the evolution of humanity. I know that sounds like an awesome endeavor, but I'm really sincere about that as a goal for Village Connector, because as I see it, we have an opportunity as individuals to contribute to the evolution of humanity by starting with our individual self-development. And so we've created an environment where everyone can help to advance the cause of humanity by focusing on who they are and what they do and being the best they can be at all of those, at both of those things. And then when you combine your energy and your talents and your resources with other people who are making that their mission, that's the goal of Village Connector Community, is to create a community of people who want to advance themselves and their neighbors collectively.
So when you say evolution of humanity, that's like, what in the world does that even mean?
Well, it's funny that, we don't stop to think about these things as much as we should, but if you look at what's happening in the typical community these days, we're very fragmented. Okay. There are factions of people who don't interact with each other. There are factions of people who not only don't interact with each other, but they're at each other's throats. And so all of that is energy that's being put into unproductive activity. You see all the ranting and raving and social networks about politics and religion and gender choices. I mean, whatever it is. I mean, whatever the political issue is of the day, there's somebody fighting about it. And the truth is that, in my opinion, is all wasted energy, because we're not focused on the big picture, which is what could we be doing collectively that would allow us to benefit from each other's presence, other than the entertainment value of ranting and raving at each other.
Okay, and so through Village Connector, then we're going to learn, how this evolution can even take place.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so, for me, I was very fortunate as a youngster to grow up in an environment that was very supported when it came to self-improvement, personal development, and self-help. I read a lot of books. I was involved with youth groups that focused on learning beyond just the academic environment that we found ourselves in school. And so I was very fortunate to be introduced early on to what it meant to be part of a community of people who were kind of doing more than the bare minimum to get by. And I wanted to create that environment for our Village Connector community members so that they could literally experience what I did growing up as a kid. And so that starts with personal development, making a commitment to invest in yourself through personal development. We have sometimes been very comfortable limiting our educational experience to the academic world, and we feel like we graduate from high school, we graduate from college, we graduate from graduate school, and that's it. That's the end of our educational experience. But I know from personal experience that that's when the real learning begins. And a lot of people are ill-equipped for what happens when the real learning begins, because the artificial academic environment is not the real world. Okay. And that's why so many people who go through getting degrees on all kinds of things don't do as well when it's time to be employed career-wise, or even having their own businesses and things like that. They're not equipped with all the skills. Okay. And so that's what self-improvement is about. So picture yourself as an individual committing yourself to a journey of self-improvement. You're making it a lifestyle choice, not just something you do one time. And then you're in the company of other people who are also making that their mission. When you combine the energy of people who are making a commitment to invest in themselves through personal development along with others, there's really not a lot that can't be accomplished when people learn how to work together in that type of environment.
Okay, so that's where the words village, connector, and then community.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
That'll be the handshake or something.
Yeah, and we have our own handshake,
okay,
as you
yes.
know.
So okay, so what's how? What's going to be a part of this?
Well, so Village Connector, we have 3 pillars that form the foundation of our mission. We focus on personal development, health and wellness, and professional development. Those are part, as I see it, of a balanced living lifestyle. You have to be investing in yourself from a skills, talents, and genius perspective, nurturing the things that you're strong at, improving the things you might be weak at, and being able to know the difference. And that's where the personal development side comes in. Health and wellness. We know that we live in a much better way when we are at our peak performance physically and emotionally, for that matter. And then professional development, you know, we're talking about whether you are a career-minded individual or someone that wants their own business or both. Those all come into play in terms of determining the quality of lifestyle that you create for yourself, and therefore the quality of lifestyle that is created for the people around you as well. So that's the foundation of what Village Connector is all about.
Okay, so I think we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, let's talk more in depth about those foundational pillars.
Sounds good.
All right, and with that, we'll be right back.